Day 39. I'm reading Reader Come Home by Marian Wolf. Letter 7, page 150. The science and poetry in learning and teaching to read. There are two quotes by Stanislas Dehaene and Michael Derda. There's nothing that a little bit of science cannot help. Parents and educators must have a better understanding of what reading changes in a child's brain. I am convinced that increased knowledge of these circuits will greatly simplify the teacher's task. That's the first one. Second quote. And what do we learn from Seuss? The joy of words and pictures at play, of course, but also the best and most humane values any of us wish to possess: pluck, determination, tolerance, reverence for the earth, suspicion of the martial spirit, the fundamental value of the imagination. This is why early reading matters. Dear reader, between the time they are 5 and 10 years old, children around the world begin to learn to read and enter the most exciting learning adventure of their young lives. In William James' apt description, children who learn to read take flight into whole new worlds as effortlessly as young birds. Their first stop on the way to Dinotopia and Narnia and Hogwarts. Along the way, they will fight all manner of monsters, from dragons to bullies. They will discover all kinds of others. They will soon swoon over heroes, or swear they will never swoon. But most of all, they will leave their desk or their chair or their bed to discover who they might become. As Billy Collins wrote his wonderful poem on turning 10, at 4 he was an Arabian wizard, at 7 he was a courageous soldier, and at 9 he became a prince. For all too many children, however, none of this is true. For them, the walk through the kindergarten door is the beginning of a recurrent nightmare that is invisible to almost everyone else. Depending on which scenario they experience, either children will have their own shot at the elusive American dream, or they will not, with far-reaching consequences for everyone in society. Every national and international index of how well U.S. children are doing in reading indicates that, despite all the nation's wealth, they are failing in droves and performing considerably behind children in both Western and Eastern countries. We cannot ignore what is portend for our children and for our country. There are facts to know, whether we have children ourselves or not, and most important, things that all of us can do about them to reclaim the potential of our country's children. Specifically, the recent National Report Card, National Assessment of Educational Progress, documents that a full 2/3 of U.S. children in the 4th grade do not read at a proficient level, that is, fluently, and wish adequate comprehension. Put in more sobering terms, only 1/3 of 21st century American children now read with sufficient understanding and speed at the exact age when their future learning depends on it. The 4th grade represents a Maginot line between learning to read and learning to use reading to think and learn. More disturbing altogether, close to half of our children who are African American or Latino do not read in grade 4 even a basic reading level, much less a proficient one. This means they do not decode well enough to understand what they are reading, which will impact almost everything they are supposed to learn from then on, including math and other subjects. I refer to this period as the vanishing hole in American education, because if children do not learn to read fluently before this time is over, for all educational purpose, they disappear. Indeed, along the way, many of these children become dropouts with little hope of reaching anyone's dream when they grow up. The bureaus of prisons in states across America know this well. Many of them protect the number of prison beds they will need in the future based on third or fourth grade reading statistics. As the former CEO and philanthropist Cynthia Coletti has written, the relationship between grade 4 reading levels and dropping out of school is a bitter, overwhelmingly significant findings. She contends that if this made children are seriously underperforming in the school, our country cannot maintain its leading economic position in the world. Buttressing Cotelli's conclusions, the Council on Foreign Relations issued a report in which it stated with no ambiguity, large undereducated swath of the population damaged the ability of the United States to physically defend itself, protect its secure information, conduct diplomacy, and grow its economy. Only a proficient reading level will ensure that an individual can go on to develop and apply the sophisticated reading skills that will maintain the intellectual, social, physical, and economic health of our country. 2/3 or more of future U.S. citizens are not even close. That's bad. Okay, I should stop here. This was Minky. Please correct me if you can. Thank you.